It's the most powerful show on television. High drama with intense energy. A show dedicated to a few brave souls who risk their lives for the sake of their craft. Its in-depth reporting goes to the core and unlocks the mysteries behind today's raciest sport. Motorsports. Catch it when you can.
Speed Station welcomes you to Rockingham Speedway for the running of the North Carolina Education Lottery 500. And in the race analysis, today's event is 197 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 49 and Stage 2 ends on lap 98. Look at this, Kurt Busch wins the pole here at Rockingham. A former driver of this facility. Not too many drivers have ever even ran here that are actually in the field. And by the way, Kurt Busch trying to make up for disappointment last week when he could have won the Southern 500 but got turned late in the going by Tyler Reddick. Then Matt Benedetto in second, Brad Keselowski third, Ryan Sieg with a good qualifying position in fourth, Alex Bowman in fifth, Kevin Harvick sixth, Ross Chastain seventh, Brandon Jones in eighth, William Byron ninth, and Daniel Suarez round out the top 10.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
And one more note before we take the green flag. Rick Mast attempted to come out of retirement and qualify for today's race at Rockingham in the fourth Rick Ware entry, but unfortunately failed to make it and will have to try again next season. And there's the green flag for the first time in 16 years at Rockingham. Looks like the two-car of Keselowski almost pushing the one-car of Kurt Busch out front. Kurt Busch has now cleared the 21 car of Matt Benedetto into turn 3 with Brad Keselowski taking up second. Alex Bowman trying to move his way up into third. And at the start-finish line, Kurt Busch will lead lap 1. Benedetto still falling back on the outside line. The 55 car of Chastain has taken up fourth position. And take a look at this. Keselowski right to the back bumper of the one car of Kurt Busch now drifts wide on the exit of turn 4, losing a little bit of time as the 88 car has finally cleared Benedetto for third spot. The 55 and 4 cars almost working together into turn 1 to get around the 21 car Benedetto as he has been strong on the outside. So Benedetto has taken up fourth position. Chastain and Harvick now battle for fifth as there's a bit of a 4-car breakaway at the head of the pack. As you see now, the 21 car of Benedetto trying to make a move on the inside of Bowman to attempt to pass for third in turn 1. And the 21 car has taken up the position. Take a look at this, about 3 cars under a blanket for the lead, those being the 1, 2, and 21, as Keselowski lost a little bit of time on Kurt Busch on the exit of turn 2. Now here comes the 21 car to the inside on the exit of 4. But Keselowski clears him entering turn number 1 to retain second. And here comes Bowman back to the inside of the 21. This is still the ongoing battle for third. And it looks like off turn 2, Bowman will take up the position. Tyler Reddick entered today's race as the point leader on top of the playoff standings, but after a bad qualifying position, he currently runs in 29th spot, while second in points entering today's race runs in 15th, that being Brandon Jones. Bit of a battle for the lead as the 2 car took a look onto the outside line on the exit of turn number 2. Can't quite build the momentum he needs up on the top side. As you see now, the 88 car clears the 21 for third position with Harvick taking up fourth. Harvick did not get the run he needed back at Darlington. Had a flat tire and pretty much sent him back to the back of the pack practically the entirety of the race. Currently runs in fourth, though, with a good shot, it seems, at winning, being one of the few drivers with past experience on this racetrack. As you see, Martin Truex Jr. moving the 55 car up off the inside line in the battle for fifth position. Take a look at this move. 3 wide on the inside goes the 24 car of William Byron, getting around the 55 and 18 cars in the same move. That moves him up into 7th position. Kurt Busch now starting to put a bit of a gap above him in second. Brad Keselowski, the separation is about half a second. And here comes Martin Truex Jr. on the inside of the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. This is the battle for 4th position, as it looks like Truex will take up the spot now to the inside of the 88 car of Bowman. But the 88 car of Bowman will clear him on the entry to turn 1 as the 19 car had to get out of the throttle. Now still side by side with the 4 car of Harvick for the position. And Harvick will clear him into turn number 3 to retain 4th. But slides up the track on the entry to turn 3, let the 19 car back to his inside. And Martin Truex Jr. will take up 4th. And now here comes Truex, back once again to the inside of the 88 car of Bowman, battling for 3rd position. And Truex will take up 3rd spot on the exit of turn number 2, and we figured he would be strong here. Track's very similar to Dover. And here comes the 88 car of Alex Bowman to the inside of the 21, trying to move his way back up into the top 5. And Bowman's got the spot with the 19 car of Truex right on the back bumper of Keselowski. Now we got just about 4 cars under a blanket in the battle for the lead as Kevin Harvick goes to the inside of Martin Truex Jr. in the battle for 3rd position. Into turn number 1, Harvick will take up the position as Brad Keselowski slid it a little bit wide on the exit of turn 2, trying to make up time on the 1 car of Kurt Busch. And we should mention last week's winner, Myatt Snider, in the 93 car, got enough funding through his victory at Darlington to run out the rest of the season in the 93, with the exception of Talladega, which he will be running the 31 for RCR. Currently runs in 32nd position, though, so not getting a very good run at that Tax Slayer Chevrolet currently. Keselowski slid it wide on the exit of turn number 4, led Harvick to his inside, with the 4 car taking up 2nd. So far, Kurt Busch has led every single lap, all 24 of them. But with the looks of Harvick's car, it's going to be hard to hold him off before the end of the stage on lap 49. Truex got a very good run on the 4 car of Kevin Harvick on the exit of turn 4, right to the bumper, into turn number 1. Still the separation between 1st and 2nd. Busch to Harvick is about half a second. And look at who has started to creep his way back up towards the front. It's the 42 car of Justin Allgaier, consistently outperforming what Matt Kenseth was doing earlier this season in that same car. And here comes Harvick with a run to the back bumper of the 1. 3 cars under a blanket for the lead now. Truex trying to move the 4 car up off the inside line, battling him for 2nd position. As they still run side by side through turns 1 and 2, it looks like Truex will take up 2nd on the exit of the corner. But look at Harvick carrying momentum up on the outside line, inches ahead of Kurt Busch for a moment. Loses some time through turns 3 and 4, falls all the way back to 3rd. You can tell Kurt Busch's car has started to fall off over the course of this long run. Here comes Harvick back to the top side, using the momentum. Still up on the outside line, runs in 2nd as Truex got out of the throttle on the exit of 2. Now they run side by side for 2nd position, as still Kurt Busch holds the lead. Looks like Truex now will take up 2nd off the 4 car of Harvick. Do you believe Harvick's still making the outside line work, as he has stayed up on the outside line of that 19 car of Truex, still battling him for 2nd, and has never cut down to the inside line yet? That's just about opposite of the way Kevin Harvick drives. Riding the high line, he's most commonly a bottom feeder. And the caution flag is out. In the race back to the flag, it was Kurt Busch above Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, and Alex Bowman. And it was a playoff contender involved in the incident. Brandon Jones, who was 2nd in points entering today's race, gets turned by Austin Dillon straight into the inside wall and around, causing our first caution of the day. And look at this, the first car off pit road is Martin Truex Jr. taking the lead above Kevin Harvick, with Kurt Busch falling all the way down to 3rd, then Brad Keselowski and Alex Bowman. So we should also mention something pivotal to the playoff standings here at Rockingham. The 95 car of Christopher Bell didn't even make the race. So it pretty well seems like the 95 is going to be in a must-win situation down in Bristol next week. Green flag, just 11 laps to go in stage 1. Already Kurt Busch jumps up to the outside to try to get around the 4 car of Harvick, but runs extremely close to the wall along with his teammate Justin Allgaier. As it looks like Brad Keselowski will take up 3rd spot. Eric Jones gets up into the outside wall on the exit of turn 2. Now the 19 and 4 cars with a pretty large separation above 3rd position Brad Keselowski. But Harvick still within striking distance of that 19. Just about 2/10 separate the two. And these two battled quite a lot last season. If you don't remember, these were the 2 contenders for the regular season championship last year. Now Truex slides up just a little bit on the exit of turn number 4. Lets the 4 car of Harvick to his inside. But Truex holds him off into turn 1. Take a look at Harvick right to the back bumper of the 19, entering turn number 1. Now tries making the move to the inside, almost made contact entering 3, forcing the 19 car of Truex wide. They really did make contact on the exit of turn number 4, and about a 1.5 seconds back, we now have a battle for 3rd, with Kyle Larson now getting up into the picture. And look at this, the battle for 3rd has gotten physical. The 2 car of Keselowski gets turned around on the front straightaway, saves it though in the grass, but we are still under caution, right up in front of his teammate. In the race back to the caution, it will be Martin Truex Jr. leading the field above Kevin Harvick, and then taking up 3rd position was Alex Bowman. Behind him is Justin Allgaier, and then Kyle Larson, who spun Keselowski. So this will likely end the stage under caution with Truex the winner. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts, by Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste, and by Start & Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. And take a look at this. Once again, we've had another shakeup off pit road with Alex Bowman taking the lead by only taking fuel. Then Kevin Harvick coming out in 2nd above Martin Truex Jr., then Kyle Larson and Justin Allgaier. And there's the green flag for stage 2. Here comes Kevin Harvick already with a jump to the 88 car on the inside line. And it looks like on the exit of turn 2, Harvick will easily take away the lead. The 12 car of Blaney into the outside wall. The 22 car of Logano slowing on the apron with a blown engine. And we are back under caution. And in the race back to the flag, it was Harvick above Truex, then Bowman, Larson, and Allgaier. And this is under caution. Look at this. The 27 car spins last week's winner, Myatt Snyder, around on the exit of turn 2. This has been a terrible last few laps for the Team Penske cars as Keselowski got spun out of 3rd place. The 12 car of Blaney gets put up into the outside wall by Tyler Ankrum, and then the 22 car of Logano blows the engine. Terrible misfortune for that team. So now we have a bit of a split of those pitting and those not. DiBenedetto, Dillon, and Keselowski will stay out on the racetrack, but the rest of the field comes down pit road. And the first car out of the pits is Harvick getting out in front of Truex, and then Larson, Allgaier, and Sieg. Harvick will restart back in 4th position behind the drivers who stayed out. Green flag, already Harvick jumping to the inside of the 2 car of Keselowski going for 3rd. Now challenging Dillon for 2nd on the exit of turn number 2. And already Harvick moves into 2nd position. Kyle Busch got up into the outside wall but managed to save it. Truex had to get out of the throttle on the entry to turn number 3. Stacked up about the 57 and 42 cars on the entry to turn 3. As now entering turn 1, the 2 car of Keselowski right on the back bumper of the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. With the 21 car of Matt DiBenedetto escaping the field by about 0.5 seconds above Harvick, who runs in 2nd position. Now the 42 car of Justin Allgaier to the inside of the 19. That moves the 42 into 5th. Now here comes Allgaier to the inside of the 3 car of Austin Dillon. These two battle for 4th position. Looks like the 42 car is going to take the spot. And still the 12 car of Blaney losing positions as on the exit of turn 2, he was put 3 wide by Gibbs teammates Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. So now your top 5 is Matt DiBenedetto still out front above Kevin Harvick, then Brad Keselowski, who recovered very nicely from a spin, and Justin Allgaier and Austin Dillon. Now here comes Keselowski to the inside of the 4 car of Harvick. They make contact, but Harvick still retains second spot. Now about 9/10 separate first and second, the 21 from the 4. You know, DiBenedetto entered this race only 6 points above the cutoff line to make the round of 12. Well, he's trying to eliminate that problem entirely by winning today's race and automatically advancing to the round of 12 without having to worry about the Bristol night race next weekend. And look at this kid, Tyler Ankrum, getting around the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson every time he's allowed to make a start, which this season has only been on short tracks due to his age. He keeps outperforming champions. Even won a stage back at Phoenix. Now Austin Dillon falling back with the 39 car of Ryan Sieg moving up into 5th position. Looks like the 57 will take up 6 as Keselowski got up off the inside line on the exit of turn number 2, let the 42 car to his inside, entering turn 3. Now Justin Allgaier takes up 3rd position. Harvick still running in 2nd, about 7/10 behind the leader. Take a look at this, Brad Keselowski back to the inside of Justin Allgaier on the exit of turn number 4. These two still battling for 3rd position, with Harvick now starting to make up time on the 21. The gap's down to just 2/10 separating 1st and 2nd. And remember from earlier, Kevin Harvick can hold momentum up on the outside line if necessary. Just like what Justin Allgaier did to the 2 car of Keselowski, kept running the outside line and cleared the 2 car on the exit of turn 2. We now once again have 4 cars running under a blanket for the lead, with once again the 2 car going to the inside of the 42, and just behind this battle, about half a second back, is the 39 car of Ryan Sieg making up time. Take a look at this. Now Allgaier is starting to battle the 4 car of Harvick. Well, almost was. Had to get out of the throttle on the exit of turn 4, but was carrying momentum very well up on the top side. Look at Harvick right on the back bumper of the 21 into turn number 3. They almost make contact on the exit of the corner. DiBenedetto goes down to block. Now the 2 car on the outside to side draft Harvick. Keselowski building momentum on the outside line, with DiBenedetto still holding the lead. Keselowski now taking up 2nd on the outside, but still can't cut down to the bottom to block the 4, as Harvick retakes 2nd position. Harvick once again right to the back bumper of the 21 entering turn number 3. Corners under him. As they exit turn 4, they're now going to be side by side down to the start-finish line. At the stripe, it was still DiBenedetto to lead that lap, trying to carry the momentum off the top side to once again clear the 4 car of Harvick, as he has a pseudo teammate of Keselowski up on the outside, pushing him past the 4 car of Harvick into turn number 3. The 2 car takes up 2nd in the same move. Ryan Sieg, who was sitting on pit road for all the Southern 500 practically and watched his other car go out and win the race, currently runs in 5th position right behind Justin Allgaier, as we now have a battle for 2nd spot, with Harvick once again on the inside of Keselowski. But on the exit of turn 2, the 2 car clears him on the top side. Now once again, Keselowski to the bumper of the 21. Harvick still within the mix in the battle for the lead, as the 42 car and 39 have started to drop back. DiBenedetto slides up. Keselowski tried putting his corner panel to the left rear of the 21, but DiBenedetto still holding on to the lead as they enter turn number 3. Now Keselowski to the inside, side by side down the front straight. At the start-finish line, it was Keselowski to lead that lap. Through turns 1 and 2, they are still side by side. As you see now, a battle for 3rd has formed between the 42 and 4. DiBenedetto holding momentum on the outside to retake the lead off Keselowski, but slides wide into turn number 3, lets the 2 car back onto his inside, and Keselowski clears him off turn 4. So now Allgaier has taken up 3rd off Kevin Harvick, now battling the 21 car of DiBenedetto for 2nd. Really diving it into turn number 3 to get up alongside DiBenedetto. And Allgaier has taken up the second position. Now the top 2 cars didn't even make the playoffs. Now Harvick to the inside of the 21, trying to move his way up into 3rd position. And Harvick will take up the spot. It looks like if we do not get another caution before the end of Stage 2, lap traffic will be a factor. So now after being stuck on the outside line, DiBenedetto has fallen his way all the way down to 5th position, with Sieg taking up 4th. Now going to the inside of Kevin Harvick. As those two battle side by side for the position, the 42 car is closed right up to the bumper of the 2 car of Keselowski. Now the 4 car dove into turn 1, took up 3rd. As there was almost contact between the 42 and 2 on the exit of turn number 2. Now Harvick once again to the back bumper of the 42 car on the exit of turn 4. A 3-man race for the lead as the 39 and 21 cars have fallen back. Here comes Harvick with a run on the inside of the 42, but it looks like Allgaier will clear him on the exit of turn 4. Carrying momentum off the outside line. Now the 42 car side by side with the 2, entering turn number 3 up on the outside line. Harvick really dove it into turn number 3, retook 2nd off the 42 car of Allgaier, now to the back bumper of Keselowski. And still, Harvick and Allgaier run nose to tail in the battle for 2nd, with Keselowski starting to gap 2nd position. The separation is now out to about 3/10. Keselowski had a bad exit of turn number 2, brought the 4 car of Harvick right back up to him. Oh, Brad Keselowski is hitting the pits, with Kevin Harvick taking the lead. 2nd spot still held by Allgaier, 3rd by Ryan Sieg. Still the top 3 cars stay out on the racetrack, trying to gamble on fuel strategy with just 10 laps to go in Stage 2. Here comes Allgaier to the inside of Harvick as they exit turn number 4. At the start-finish line, it was Harvick to lead by a narrow margin above Allgaier. The 4 car trying to carry the momentum on the exit of turn number 2. Now down to turn 3. They still run side by side. Looks like they're slowing down, though, as if they're going to be hitting the pits. Yes, they are. Harvick and Allgaier both come down pit road, with the 39 car of Ryan Sieg staying out and assuming the lead. And now, after 1 lap by himself on the racetrack, the 39 car of Ryan Sieg comes down pit road to complete the pit cycle. As now the pit cycle has concluded, this is now the battle for both the lead and the Stage 2 victory, with Brad Keselowski in front of the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto. Then behind them is the 4 car of Kevin Harvick, and then the 42 of Justin Allgaier. DiBenedetto having some trouble getting around lap traffic, as the gap between 1st and 2nd has been extended to almost 2 seconds, separating Keselowski from DiBenedetto. Now Keselowski getting into heavy lap traffic, including last week's race winner Myatt Snyder in the 93 car right up in front of him, and the 89 of Castle and the 99 of Briscoe. Now on the exit of turn number 4, Keselowski will see the white flag in Stage 2. And off turn 4, Brad Keselowski will win Stage 2 at Rockingham. Behind him is Matt DiBenedetto in 2nd, then Kevin Harvick in 3rd. 4th position was taken by Justin Allgaier, and 5th by Ryan Sieg. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts, by Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste, and by Start and Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. And look at this, Keselowski is coming down pit road along with DiBenedetto and several other lead lap cars, but Harvick will stay out with Allgaier behind him, assuming 1st and 2nd. So Kevin Harvick is going to have a lot of lap traffic to deal with 4 lap cars in front of him. And then separating Harvick from 2nd is 2 other lap cars, and then 2nd to 3rd is 1 lap car. And there's the green flag for the final stage. Harvick already jumps up to the outside line to get around lap traffic, almost gets up into the wall, but so does 2nd place. Justin Allgaier as Truex dives to the inside line and takes up 2nd. Both Bowman and Allgaier got up into the outside wall, so now 2nd spot has been taken by Truex, third by Tyler Reddick. Now Harvick really up on the outside line with Truex diving in on the inside. This is the battle for the lead as they exit turn number 2. Truex dive bombs it into turn number 3 on the bottom. And Martin Truex Jr. is now your leader at Rockingham. Now Harvick cuts down to the inside line right behind the 19 car of Truex. Truex now moving the lap car of Peters up off the inside line to get around him. Now has only 3 more lap cars up in front of him of Suarez, Castle, and Wallace. Harvick still right on the back bumper of Truex as they exit turn number 4, and the yellow flag has been displayed. This is the race back to the caution. Truex still your leader above Harvick. In third was Cole Custer, moving his way up into the position. Then behind him is reigning champion Clint Boyer, who is his teammate. A little bit of contact right there between Chase Elliott and Chris Buescher. And in fifth is the young rookie Tyler Ankrum. So this is why we are under caution. The 21 car of Matt DiBenedetto makes contact with regular season champion Ryan Blaney, spinning him into the inside wall. He has really been having an extremely rough round of 16 after being turned at Darlington, going upside down there, and now being involved in 2 incidents here. He's really got to get his playoff season together come time of next weekend's night race at Bristol. So now most of the lead lap cars hit the pits, but Brad Keselowski will stay out in front of Matt DiBenedetto, Austin Dillon, William Byron, and Kyle Larson, so they will now assume the top 5. And the first car off pit road was Truex getting out in front of Harvick and then Allgaier. Those guys who just now pitted will restart around 7th and back. And under caution, the 13 car of Ty Dillon, who is having a very great race today, running within the top 10, has blown the engine and is now out of the race. Green flag. There goes William Byron jumping up to the outside line, trying to get a run around the 3 car of Austin Dillon. And it does not work as he lets Larson do his inside. With the 57 car taking up 4th, we once again have another car into the outside wall. That time it was Clint Boyer. Now the 21 car of Matt DiBenedetto, who caused the last caution, believe it or not, all the way up to 2nd because of pit strategy, right on the bumper of his pseudo-teammate Keselowski, battling him for the lead. The top 3 cars now running under a blanket once again for the lead, as the 21 car is within just 1/10 of the 2 car of Keselowski, with the 3 car of Dillon trying to make a move to the inside. Almost made contact as they exited turn number 4. That slowed up the 21 and has allowed the 2 car to put a bit of a separation above him in 2nd. And we are now under caution for a spin on the exit of turn number 4. This will be the race back to the caution flag, with the 3 car being battled by the 57 for 3rd position. And on the exit of turn number 4, it will be Keselowski to lead the field back to caution above Matt DiBenedetto, then Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Austin Dillon. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets a little bit loose on the exit of turn number 4, gets clipped by Timothy Peters in the 87, and spun around into the grass on the front straightaway. Also manages not to hit anything, but does bring out the caution. And in the race off pit road, it was Brad Keselowski who has a huge indentation on the right side door. That 2 car must have made contact with someone getting out of pit road. Then in 2nd place is Martin Truex Jr. 3rd is Kevin Harvick. 4th is Austin Dillon. And 5th is Matt DiBenedetto. And look at this coming out of his pit stall. Keselowski gets doored by the 6 car of Ryan Newman, giving heavy right side damage to the 2 and some big time front end damage on the 6 car of Ryan Newman. Might have blew the radiator on the Roush Fenway Ford. Green flag. Already there goes the 2 car up to the outside line. Truex trying to capitalize on this move on the bottom. And already Martin Truex Jr. has retaken the lead, with Harvick moving up into 2nd. Looks like the 57 car got up into the outside wall. So now Truex has gotten around the lap car of the 47 of Stenhouse, as well as the 77 of Quinn Houff. And look at this, the 2 car of Keselowski being heavily blocked by the lap traffic on the top. Now 3rd position has been taken by Austin Dillon. 4th by Matt DiBenedetto. Martin Truex Jr. trying to sweep the high-banked 1-mile tracks this season. One earlier this year at Dover. could make it 2 for 2 here at Rockingham. Austin Dillon dropped a lot of spots up on the outside line with the 21 taking up third, now to the inside of Harvick in the battle for second. The 42 car of Allgaier has moved his way up into fourth, and the 55 has taken fifth. So now Matt DiBenedetto has taken up second spot off Kevin Harvick. Still Martin Truex Jr. holding a comfortable lead over second spot. And Truex's lead is not so comfortable now as the 21 car is right to his back bumper entering turn number 3. Once again, a three-man race for the lead between Truex, DiBenedetto, and Harvick. All three of these drivers trying to advance their way into the round of 12. And take a look at Chase Briscoe. Where has he come from? Ran most of the race around 20th position and now runs an 8th spot, driving his way around the 8 car of Tyler Reddick on the last lap. And rookie Cole Custer getting one of his best runs of this season, currently runs in 7th in the 41 car for Stewart-Haas Racing. Still DiBenedetto right to the back bumper of the 19, tries taking the look to the inside, almost makes contact on the exit of turn 4, but Truex still will not budge. Well, we haven't talked about Kyle Busch very much today, but he just got around the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson, moving his way up into 12th. So far getting a quiet but consistent run here at Rockingham. As you remember, last week had a shot at winning the Southern 500 until he wrecked into a lap car, but as I say that, he almost spins Tyler Reddick out on the exit of turn 4. But fortunately, the 8 car managed to save it. Kevin Harvick starting to lose some ground on the front 2 cars. He's about half a second back from Matt DiBenedetto, as the 21 car is still right on the back bumper of Truex. Clearly faster, but just cannot figure out a way around. Now here he comes to the inside, now side by side as they exit turn number 4 and onto the front stretch. DiBenedetto will lead at the start-finish line, and into turn 1 it looks like he will clear the 19 car of Truex. And the 99 car of Chase Briscoe has just moved his way up into the top 5, getting around the 3 car of Austin Dillon. And still Reddick and Kyle Busch battle for position, with the 18 car finally getting around the 8 to move up into the top 10. Now here comes Harvick to the inside of the 19 car of Truex. These two battle for second. Still side by side as they exit turn number 4. Looks like the 4 car of Harvick will take up second position. The gap between first and second has already been extended out to 6/10. Now Clint Bowyer and Chase Briscoe battle for 5th position. Looks like the 99 car will take it on the exit of turn 2 with a push coming from Kurt Busch. But here comes Kurt Busch to the inside of Chase Briscoe, entering turn 1, trying to take up 5th position. And it looks like Busch has the spot. That makes for 2 Chip Ganassi cars in the top 5. And Kurt Busch starting to run down his teammate Justin Allgaier as we now have a pretty significant battle for 4th position. Right up to the back bumper of his teammate as Allgaier goes for the block, entering turn number 1. But now the top 3 cars are relatively spread out, with about half a second separating Harvick from DiBenedetto and Truex from Harvick. Boy, a lot of contact for around 25th position, as Stenhouse almost looped it once again on the exit of turn 4. And here comes Kurt Busch to the inside of his teammate Justin Allgaier in the battle for 4th position. But it looks like Allgaier will clear him with a run on the exit of turn 2, as you see now the 4 car of Harvick starting to make up significant ground on the 21 car of Matt DiBenedetto. So now Kurt Busch has taken up 4th position. Looks like his brother Kyle will file into 5th position. Well, now here comes Kyle Busch to the inside of his brother. On the exit of turn 2, they run side by side down the back straightaway. Entering turn number 3, it looks like Kyle Busch will take up 4th position. DiBenedetto still patrolling the field by about half a second in front of Kevin Harvick. Then from DiBenedetto back to Truex is about 2.5 seconds. So now Kyle Busch has caught right up to the back bumper of his teammate Martin Truex Jr. in the battle for 3rd spot. Almost bump drafting down the back straightaway. Now here comes Kyle Busch to the inside of his teammate Truex, trying to take up 3rd spot. Right behind Kyle is his brother Kurt. Still running side by side with the 19 down the back straightaway. And into turn 3 with a dive move, the 18 car of Kyle Busch will take up third spot. Clearly has one of the best cars on track right now, as the 21 and 4 cars are just trying to run a steady line and not burn up the rubber. So we've already had a few of the lap cars come down pit road. Makes you wonder when these front runners will decide to split the final stage in half. Kyle Busch really is starting to make significant gains on race leader Matt DiBenedetto. He has cut the separation down to just 2 seconds from first to third. Take a look at Kyle Busch right to the back bumper of Kevin Harvick, really showing how strong that 18 car is now late in the run. And there is as well a lap car of Michael McDowell, who by the way blocked about half the field last week at Darlington, up in front of Matt DiBenedetto. As there you see Kyle Busch jumping up to the outside line to try to build momentum around Kevin Harvick. And now that is impressive. Kyle Busch's car is good enough to pass Kevin Harvick up on the outside line. So now with Busch moving up into second, it's going to be hard for the 21 car to hold him off, especially when he's being blocked by this lap car of McDowell. And they make contact on the exit of the corner. McDowell hard into the wall. The caution flag is out with Kyle Busch taking the lead. Kyle Busch was in the right place at the right time as the field races back to the caution with DiBenedetto falling into second. In the race back to the flag, it is Kyle Busch above Matt DiBenedetto, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. DiBenedetto, getting slowed up by the 34 car of McDowell, makes contact and spins him hard into the inside retaining wall and actually makes collision with the sand barrel. A pretty hard impact for the 34 car of McDowell as that sends him around through the grass with the 18 car taking the lead at the start-finish line. Also, not to mention that when McDowell spun back onto the racetrack, he cuts up in front of the 14 car of Bowyer, and Bowyer, a playoff contender, slams right into him. And the first car off pit road is the 21 car of DiBenedetto, stealing the lead back above Kevin Harvick, then Kyle Busch dropping all the way down to third, then Kurt Busch and Martin Truex Jr. Green flag. Here comes Kevin Harvick jumping up to the outside line. That's going to allow Kyle Busch to shoot onto the bottom and retake second. Busch now rocketing up into second position. He's got a straight shot up to the 21 car of Matt DiBenedetto. Although this time there's no lap traffic to slow up the 21 car and allow the 18 car to slip by. But here comes Harvick once again trying to make a move on the 18 car to the inside, getting the run on the exit of turn number 4. Into turn number 1, it looks like Kevin Harvick will take up second, Chase Briscoe battling Kurt Busch for 4th position. But now here comes Truex to the inside of Kurt Busch. The 19 car takes up 4th, with the 4 car moving into 2nd. The 18 car of Kyle Busch is hoping that we get no cautions all the way out to the finish. You saw how well his car ran on a long run. That was about 52 laps we ran green, and he was clearly better than both the 4 and 21. But now here comes Harvick to the back bumper of the 21 as they exit turn number 2. DiBenedetto gives him some room entering turn number 1, but gets the advantage using the slightly higher line around the middle groove to take the lead back as they exit turn number 2. Oh, and the 37 car got hard into the outside wall entering turn 1, but we do not have a caution. Kyle Busch now starting to lose a little bit of time on the front runners as the 19 car of Martin Truex Jr. has closed right up to his back bumper. Take a look at Harvick building momentum up on the outside line. Got side by side with the 21 as they enter turn number 3. Had to get out of the throttle as they exit turn number 4. And cuts back down in line behind the 21. Once again, the 4 car getting the run up on the outside, almost pushing the 21 into turn 3. Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. now back into the mix with Harvick on the inside of DiBenedetto. Side by side down the front straightaway. DiBenedetto using the momentum off the top side, trying to clear the 4 as they exit turn number 2. Looks like Matt DiBenedetto will retake the lead with the 19 car of Truex moving up into 3rd spot. Larson in 5th now getting into the picture. DiBenedetto ran turn 3 wide, brought the 4 car right back to his inside. At the stripe, it was still the 21 car to lead, but entering turn 1, Harvick tries out braking him and takes the lead at the Rockingham Speedway. Now the 19 car taking up second, drafting with the 4. Almost made contact as they entered turn number 3, trying to get onto the inside. Now Truex side by side with Harvick. At the stripe, it was Truex to lead the lap. As the 4 and 19 are going to be side by side down the back straightaway. Harvick inching ahead. And now diving onto the inside goes Truex, who will take the lead as they exit turn number 4. Matt DiBenedetto still running in third spot, not too far behind with the 4 car getting momentum off the outside line. Still running side by side as they exit turn number 2. Can't quite clear him though as they head off into turn 3. But Truex backs out of the throttle and Harvick has taken the lead, although he runs wide as they exit turn number 4. Now Truex back side by side. 19 car leads at the start-finish line. And Truex has made the pass. Martin Truex Jr., the leader at Rockingham. And take a look at who the lap car up in front of the leaders is. Yep, it's Michael McDowell. Look at this though, Harvick still building the momentum up on the outside line. With Matt DiBenedetto still within the picture for the lead. The 4 car of Harvick almost inches ahead as they enter turn number 3, but Truex dives it into the corner and clears him. So does the 21, who moves his way back up into second. Now the 57 and 18 cars of Larson and Busch battle for 4th position. Once again, 3 cars under a blanket as it looks like the 4 car almost shoving the 21 into turn number 3. Now getting onto the inside of DiBenedetto as they exit turn 4, trying to take up second. Entering turn number 1, looks like the 4 car of Harvick will take up second position. Now Larson into the mix, trying to capitalize on the slowing 21. Kyle Larson has now taken up third spot. So now just 20 laps to go here at Rockingham. The top 5 cars are all playoff contenders and all have a shot at advancing to the next round. And now look right up in front of Martin Truex Jr. That's the lap car of McDowell. I wonder if they'll be able to pass him this time without spinning him. And Truex gets boxed in by the 34. That's giving Harvick some track position to turn onto the inside of Truex. They make contact as Truex puts the 34 car down a lap and managed to save it on the exit of turn number 4. And things getting physical for the lead late in the going. In the second race of the round of 16, we got Mike Wallace on the inside line with a blown engine. Caution flag is out. In the race back to the flag, it is Martin Truex Jr. above Kevin Harvick, then Matt DiBenedetto, Kyle Larson, and Kyle Busch. And we have had a massive crash entering turn number 3. Mike Wallace on the racetrack with the blown engine. Eric Jones and Ryan Sieg make contact, go up into the outside wall. Jones gets spun around, then slides down the banking, makes heavy contact with the 10 car of Almirola. Then Almirola slides down and gets impacted head-on by the 43 car of Bubba Wallace. And then further down in the incident, the 00 car gets turned around by William Byron. And then coming back onto the racetrack, the 00 gets clipped hard by the 47 car of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So quite a few cars knocked out by just the blown engine on the 53. Green flag, just 13 laps to go here at Rockingham. Kyle Busch jumps up to the outside line to get around the lap car of Michael McDowell. That's going to put quite the clearance of the top 4 cars above the pack, as Kyle Busch still could not clear McDowell. Now he does, entering turn number 3. So now after a lap and a half under green, Truex with about a 2 car length separation above the 4 car of Harvick. Then just behind them is DiBenedetto and Larson. So a bit of a 4-man race for the win here at Rockingham and for the advancement to the round of 12. Bit of 3-wide action as they exit turn number 2 around mid-pack with Custer in the middle. And here comes Larson to the inside of DiBenedetto. These two battle for third spot with Harvick still on the back bumper of Truex. So now Kyle Larson has moved his way up into third position, getting around the 21 car of DiBenedetto, with Harvick still pressuring the 19. Once again, Harvick almost shoving the 19 car into turn number 3. Trying to just barely upset the 19 car and cut down to the inside, but still Truex will not budge as they exit turn number 4, with the 57 car of Larson gaining significant ground on these two front runners. And now Larson up into the mix, a 3-man race for the lead once again. And Harvick really got out of the throttle as they exited the corner, but we now have a caution out, so this will be the race back to the flag, and we will have one more restart to decide the finish. But here we go off of turn number 4 in the race back to the caution. It is Martin Truex Jr. above Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Matt DiBenedetto, and Kyle Busch. And guess who got spun? It was Michael McDowell. Turned by Clint Bowyer down into Landon Castle. Then sitting on the front straightaway gets slammed hard by the 77 of Quinn Half. A severe impact between the two. So we are going to go green with just 2 laps to go. A green-white checker finish here at Rockingham for the first time back for a Cup Series race in 16 years. We're definitely getting set up for another fantastic finish. Green flag, just 2 to go. Harvick getting a good jump on Truex. As Larson goes wide, lets DiBenedetto onto his inside. Harvick with the run. 3 wide on the exit of turn number 2 around mid-pack. Now Harvick going down to the inside. They're going to be side by side coming down the front straightaway. Harvick will lead at the stripe. Truex trying to dive it into the corner. Attempting to carry the momentum down the back straightaway off the top. Comes down slightly to side draft the 4. Harvick going to try to hold it down through turns 3 and 4. Larson up into the mix now, battling Truex for second, with Harvick clearing the 19 off turn 4 to win at Rockingham. Larson taking second. And Truex in third. Now Harvick advances to the round of 12. So Kevin Harvick has won in NASCAR's return to Rockingham above Kyle Larson in second, Martin Truex Jr. third, narrowly missing out on a win, Matt DiBenedetto in fourth, Kyle Busch in fifth, Austin Dillon sixth, Jimmy Johnson seventh, Chase Briscoe in eighth, Brad Keselowski ninth, a good recovery from an early spin, and Ryan Sieg round out the top 10. So Kevin Harvick with his win moves up 7 spots in points to take the point lead above Kyle Busch, who is 6 points back, and Martin Truex Jr., who is as well 6 points back. So what, are we going to start calling this the Big Three again? I hope not. And then Tyler Reddick falls down 3 spots in points, 7 points back to 4th. Bowman is 11 points back in 5th. DiBenedetto is as well 11 points back in 6th. 12 points back is Kurt Busch. 13 points back is Ryan Blaney. 14 is Denny Hamlin, and then 24 back from point leader Harvick is Kyle Larson. So take a look at the playoff standings. Obviously Kevin Harvick locked in with his win, but then look at the cutoff line. Larson 21 points above, which is a relatively good margin. Then Brandon Jones 17 points above, Clint Bowyer 14 points above, and he's the defending champion. Then Logano, 2018 Series champion, is 14 points back. Daniel Suarez is 16 points back. Coke Zero Sugar 400 winner Eric Almirola is 21 points back, and with Christopher Bell's DNQ here at Rockingham, odds are he is in a must-win situation come next week at Bristol. And speaking of that, our next race is the Food City 500, which this season will be ran under the lights and the round of 16 playoff elimination race. And you can catch it all right here on the Speed Station.